So now let's start doing our icing. This is worked in the flat with rows of single crochet, and then we increase it on the sides to make this, give it this curved look. And then we do a series of double crochets here to create this edge here, these beautiful waves. So let's get started. So take your white yarn and do a slip knot. So for doing a slip knot, again, the instructions are in the stitch instructions document, but you wrap the yarn around your finger, pull out this loop and take your yarn and pull it through in there. You put your hook through the loop, tighten it, and then you're ready to do some chains. So to chain, yarn over and pull your hook through that first loop. You've got your first chain on your hook. So we will do 11 chains here. So we've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you will do 1 extra chain, which will be your turning chain. So for the first row, what you will do is you will put a single crochet in across the row. So the first chain you will work into is the second one from the hook. So 1, 2, we never count the loop that is directly on our hook. So 1, 2, so here we will do our first single crochet. Just like before, you'll put your hook through that chain, yarn over, pull through that first loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. And you'll work like this across your chains. And at the end, you should have a piece with 11 stitches. And you'll complete this row by doing a chain 1. Again, this is your turning chain. So for the next series of rows, what we will do is we will start doing our increases. And these will always be worked after you've done a single crochet stitch. That just makes the pattern look a bit better, and it's also then easier for you to sew the two pieces of the icing together as well. So for our second row, we will do a single crochet here, like this. And then the next stitch here, we'll put 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And then we will work a single crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you should have 2 stitches remaining. In the first one, you'll put an increase, so 2 single crochets in that penultimate stitch. And then you'll finish with a single crochet in the last one and a chain 1. Again, that's your turning chain. So for this second row, you should have 13 stitches. And we'll continue working in this way, essentially by doing a single crochet in the first stitch and then placing 2 single crochets in the next and finishing in the same fashion for the next few rows until you have 19 stitches in total. So for the next row, you will simply single crochet across these 19 stitches, and then we'll do a further increase, and then we'll just do a series of single crochets to maintain the width. So you can see here we're starting to build up that nice shape that will sit quite nicely on top of our pudding here. So when we sew it, it will look quite lovely. So let's continue by doing our single crochets and then increases. will do another series, a single row again of increases, and we'll do it quite in the same way as we've done before, with the aim of having 21 stitches in total. So again, you will do a single crochet in the first stitch, and then you will do 2 single crochets in the next one, and then you will do a single crochet across the next 15, and then you should be at the penultimate stitch, at which point you will put 2 single crochets in that penultimate stitch here, and then finish off with 1 crochet. Essentially, you've worked now the number of increases that our pattern needs. I'm just gonna get my yarn sorted here. And now what we will do is we just want to increase the length of our piece so that it grows a bit and it can cover about half, well, maybe 2/3 of our main body piece, and then we will work a little scallop kind of wave edge to make it look more like icing. So to do that, you will work single crochets across all of the stitches, all of the 21 stitches, for a total of 5 rows. So I will meet you once we've completed that step, and we can then start on that wave pattern to finish off our, well, the first of the 2 pieces of icing that we need to complete. So once you've completed your 5 rows, consecutive rows of single crochet across all 21 stitches, you should have something that looks like this. So you will have worked your increases that give this a nice little curve, and then it will have stabilized over the last 5 rows you've worked. So now we are ready to do our little wave pattern here. And this is really worked in a very easy way with a combination of slip stitches and then double crochets. So let's start. Take your piece, work that first turning chain if you haven't from your previous row, and what you will do is you will slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. So put your hook under the stitch, yarn over, go through your stitch, and then go through that loop. That's your first slip stitch, and then repeat for your second stitch again. That's 2 slip stitches. Now what we'll need to do is work 6 double crochets in that 3rd stitch. So what you'll do is you'll yarn over, put your hook through the stitch, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You should have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. And that's your first double crochet, and you need to do that another 5 times. So again, yarn over, put your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops only, yarn over and pull through 2. So let's speed this up a bit. Again, there's a step-by-step guide for how to do the double crochet stitch in the stitch guide for this piece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need a last double crochet here. And now what you will do is you will slip stitch in the next 3 stitches. So this is the first one, we'll slip stitch, 1, 2, 3. So this is your pattern repeat essentially for this row. You'll just continue along the row by doing placing 6 double crochets in 1 stitch and then following that up with 3 slip stitches, and that you will do that until you have 3 stitches left. You're going to be left with 3 stitches. So in this one, the one right after your last slip stitch, you will do 6 double crochets, And then you'll finish this row just like we started it, with 2 slip stitches. And then what you'll do is you'll chain 1, secure your piece, and fasten off your yarn. So let's do that very quickly, just to see what the finished look looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 1 slip stitch here, and the second one in that last stitch. Chain 1, and fasten off your yarn. Secure it. And that's how your little piece will look in the end. And I just think that these little waves here, they just sort of a scalloped edge, just looks so pretty. And I really like how it looks on the finished item as well. I think it makes it look, you know, very much like a pudding. I think it's very sort of symmetrical, and it's just a very sort of nice and sort of neat finished look. So repeat those. Repeat this one more time, so you have 2 pieces. And then again, put those aside, because we will use them once we've also done our holly and ivy, to put the piece together.